Welcome to Cosmic Compass, the channel where we journey through the mysteries of space astronomy and the universe beyond our world. Here we explore cosmic phenomena, unravel scientific discoveries, and tell the stories of the spacecraft and missions that push the boundaries of human knowledge. Today we'll uncover one of the strangest puzzles in space exploration, the mystery behind Voyager 1's bizarre signals. Let's dive in. In May 2022, something strange happened. Voyager 1, the farthest spacecraft humanity has ever sent into the cosmos, suddenly began sending back signals that made no sense. Data that had once been clear and precise turned into nonsense strings of numbers. For a moment, scientists feared they were on the brink of losing contact with this legendary explorer. But what exactly went wrong, and how did NASA's team solve the puzzle? Today, let's dive into this mystery together. Voyager 1 was launched in 1977 with the ambitious task of exploring the outer planets, and then, if it survived, to venture into interstellar space. Today, it is more than 24 billion kilometers away. That's about 6.5 times the distance between the Sun and Pluto. Think about that for a second. If you sent a message to Voyager right now, you wouldn't get a reply until almost 2 days later. 22 hours for your message to arrive, and another 22 hours for its response to return. Communicating with Voyager today is like sending letters across the galaxy, not instant texts. Conditions where Voyager now travels are harsh beyond imagination. Outside the protective bubble of the Sun's magnetic field, the spacecraft is bombarded constantly by cosmic rays and interstellar radiation. It is a hostile environment, one no human-made craft had ever entered before. And yet, despite being more than 45 years old, despite its dwindling power, Voyager 1 has continued to deliver valuable information data about cosmic rays, magnetic fields, and the mysterious space between the stars. Which is why, when its signal turned strange, scientists were deeply unsettled. One day in May 2022, NASA engineers noticed something unusual in Voyager's telemetry data. Telemetry is essentially the spacecraft's health report, letting Earth know whether its systems are working as expected. Normally, these readings are reliable even if delayed. But on this day, something was very wrong. Instead of meaningful numbers, engineers saw streams of gibberish, long strings of zeros, or the repeating number 377. None of it added up. Voyager seemed to think it was pointing in directions that were physically impossible. Yet, here's the strange part. The spacecraft's antenna was still locked perfectly on Earth. The signal was coming through at the same strength as always. If Voyager had really shifted direction, we wouldn't be receiving any signal at all. So what was happening? Imagine being one of those engineers. You wake up, sit down at your console and pull up the latest data from Voyager 1, and suddenly the numbers don't make sense. It's like your postman arrives at your door, delivers the mail just as always, but when he greets you, he's speaking a language you've never heard before. That was the situation NASA faced. The spacecraft's data on its orientation, the information used to keep its antenna facing Earth, was now corrupted. And yet the scientific instruments on board were still working fine. Measurements of cosmic rays, magnetic fields, and interstellar plasma were all normal. The packages were still being delivered. Only the conversation between Earth and Voyager had turned bizarre. The problem was traced to a single system, the Attitude Articulation and Control System, or AACS. This computer has one of the most important jobs on Voyager. It makes sure the spacecraft's massive 3-meter antenna always points precisely toward Earth. Without it, communication would be lost forever. But the AACS was now sending back a nonsensical information. Even stranger Voyager didn't seem to notice. Normally, if something goes wrong, the spacecraft can trigger a safe mode, a kind of survival state, where it powers down until engineers diagnose the problem. But safe mode never activated. Voyager seemed completely convinced that everything was fine. At first glance, this might sound like a small glitch, but it hinted at something deeper. If a critical system like the AACS was failing, could other systems be next? And if Voyager lost the ability to orient its antenna, it would mean the end of all communication. After 45 years of travel, humanity's most distant spacecraft could suddenly go silent. One mistake, one system failure, and the longest-running mission in history would be lost in the void. Of course, when something strange happens, so far away, imagination runs wild. Could aliens be interfering? After all, Voyager carries the famous golden record, a time capsule of Earth's sounds, images and music meant as a message to extraterrestrial life. But if aliens wanted to contact us, surely they'd use a more elegant method than scrambling Voyager's telemetry. Could it be that the laws of physics were breaking down? Had Voyager slipped through a wormhole or encountered some exotic cosmic phenomenon? As fascinating as these ideas sound, the evidence didn't support them. The scientific data being returned was normal. Whatever was happening was far more mundane, but no less troubling. And so began months of detective work. From their consoles on Earth, engineers carefully probed Voyager's systems. Each command took 22 hours to arrive, and another 22 hours for the response to come back. Imagine playing a game of chess where every move takes 2 days. It was slow, frustrating, but essential. They tested theories one after another, searching for clues. Could they switch to a backup computer? Voyager was built with redundancies, and some backups had been used before. Could they simply ignore the problem since the scientific instruments were still working fine? That was tempting, but leaving a fault unaddressed risked overlooking something more dangerous. Every possibility carried risks. The challenge was to find a solution that fixed the problem without making things worse. After 4 long months, the answer finally emerged. Somehow Voyager 1 had begun routing its telemetry through an old computer, a computer that engineers had stopped using years ago because it was defective. This was why the data was garbled. The faulty hardware was corrupting the signals before they reached Earth. The fix surprisingly was simple. NASA sent a command to Voyager instructing it to stop using the broken computer and to switch back to the correct one. Hours later, the data returned clear, precise, and once again reliable. The mystery had been solved. But not all mysteries vanish so easily. Why did Voyager switch to that old broken computer in the first place? To this day, nobody knows for sure. It could have been triggered by a cosmic ray strike, or perhaps a subtle hardware glitch after decades in deep space. Whatever the cause, it left scientists with an uneasy feeling. If it happened once, could it happen again? And next time would the fix be so simple? Voyager 1 is now an old traveller, braving conditions no spacecraft was ever designed to endure. Its plutonium power supply grows weaker with each year. By 2025, most of its instruments will likely have to shut down for good, and yet every extra day it continues to function is a triumph for science and engineering. As we reflect on this story, let's remember science often advances through solving puzzles like this one to reach the big questions. How does the universe work? What lies beyond our solar system? We must first solve the small riddles, like repairing a spacecraft more than 20 billion kilometers away. Voyager 1's strange signal was not the work of aliens, nor a crack in the laws of physics. It was simply the stubborn glitch of an aging machine, fixed by the patience and ingenuity of human engineers. But the fact that we can still talk to this spacecraft, still hear its voice across the gulf of interstellar space, is a wonder in itself. Voyager 1 is humanity's message in a bottle, drifting endlessly into the cosmic ocean. And for now, at least, that bottle still speaks to us. As Voyager 1 continues its lonely voyage into interstellar space, we're reminded of both the fragility and the resilience of human exploration. Even at the edge of the sun's influence, our technology still whispers back across billions of kilometres, carrying humanity's story into the stars. If you enjoyed this journey, let's keep exploring together. Subscribe to Cosmic Compass for more deep dives into astronomy space missions and the mysteries of the universe. Until next time, keep looking up and keep your compass pointed toward the cosmos.